Hello and welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the high-grade Future Century Nobell Gundam from G Gundam. The Neo-Sweden suit, which for some reason is based on a Japanese schoolgirl, but let's not worry about that. Let's start off the review by, as always, taking a look at the articulation. Alright, starting out with the head, you get a hinge forward and back at the bottom of the neck, and a ball joint at the top, so you get pretty good to the front, though not a lot to the back. A tilt to other side, which is really nice, and the hair is actually on a ball joint. It pops back a little bit, and then you can rotate it up. A little bit loose, but that's alright. And with that, you can get a bit more up. Not a lot, but it is there. Moving on to the shoulders, you get just a ball joint, but honestly, it's not that bad. 90 degree out to the side, rotation at the bicep, just a single joint at the elbow, but it does get over 90 degrees. And the hand, as always, on a ball joint. Now the waist is ball jointed, so you get a pretty nice movement here, not really anything getting in the way. Pop that back in all the way. The back skirt is solid, but I mean, it's a high grade, what do you expect? Side skirts are on hinges, and the front skirts are hinged, I think. I can't remember if it's a ball joint or not now. Anyway, you get, more than enough up. The hips are on a side-to-side rocking joint, which is nice. Actually, I'm going to use this leg because it's not painted. We'll get to that. You get, a really, really high kick, which is fine. Pretty good to the back considering the back skirt is static, and, easy splits to the side. Also, it is universal joint hips, so you get a full rotation at the upper thigh, just 90 degrees at the knee, which is probably the most limited part of the kit. I really feel like they could have easily put a second joint right here to get it, all the way back, but whatever. And the ankle is kind of weird, honestly, because it has a ball joint, but the ball joint goes up into the shin, and then there's a hinge below it, so you get a full range with the ankle, and honestly a pretty good range, all things considered. You can get really good posing with it. It's just kind of weird, and I've heard that since there's no polycaps, it does get a little bit loose over time, so you might have to tighten that up in the future. But overall, a few minor issues that I personally have with it, but the articulation is still pretty good, all things considered. Enough for a mobile fighter, at least. Now, moving on to accessories, and let's start off, as always, with the stickers. Other way. Yeah, the thing is, not that many stickers, but it's a lot of painting you need to do on this thing that isn't covered by the stickers. Obviously I used the eyes and the camera, and also this is in case you don't want to paint the edge. I just bought a metallic green Gundam marker and did around the gem, but I did use the sticker for the center of it because it's actually supposed to be slightly more metallic, so it works. But aside from that, you have the white that goes around the trim of this, which I just painted since it's inlaid, so it's really easy. And the red stripes, which go around, focus, thank you, around the neck, which I painted, and around the thigh. And they're a metallic red sticker, but I just went with flat red since there's no other metallic red on it. But aside from the stickers, you also have to paint the head Vulcans red, the verniers in the shoulders black, the verniers in the ribbons black, and the entire inside of the hair gray. So, yeah, to be fair, those details aren't that bad and should be fairly easy to do. If you have a black Gundam marker for like panel lining, the black should be super easy, but the inside of the hair being gray, that's a lot of paint you need to do. Also, just quickly, I will point out that I shaved down the safety flags on the V-fin here. Sometimes I leave those on because I like the shaping that they add. This time I took them off because I think it looks better without them. Now, as for accessories, let's start out. You get 2 of these just splayed hands, which is nice. And you do get 2 holding hands, which can also be used as fists if you want, though maybe the hole through the middle would bother you. It doesn't really bother me personally, but you also get a single peace signed hand, which is nice. Kind of iconic for the Nobell Gundam, so it needed to be included, but it is a very nice hand. You also get these with crossbones, but they are actually notably different. And finally, you do get some hands that aren't meant for the Nobell Gundam. They're meant for the Burning Gundam. For the iconic pose of it holding the Nobell Gundam, it's kind of funny that they included these. Also, the hands are very hollow on the palms there, but it's not too bad. Now that we're done with the hands, let's move on to the weapon of the Nobell Gundam, which is the beam ribbon. You do actually get a sheet of beam ribbons, including 2 shorter straight ones and then 3 longer ones. I'm using the mid-size curl. You also have a much tighter curl and a very open one. I'm pretty sure these are all pretty much the same length, so that should be fine. Also, you do get 2 of the hilts, and a feature that isn't advertised anywhere is you'll notice the little circle in the center. These are actually compatible with the standard high-grade beam saber effects, so you can just give her standard beam sabers if you want. Now, the Nobel doesn't come with any, but it's not exactly a rare part, so... And if you're wondering what this red block is, it's actually just a weight so that the ribbon actually sits on the ground. It doesn't actually work super well. It's a little bit too light, but without it, it would just be completely up in the air. So it is a nice thing they included it. Kind of wish they didn't put it on the red part of the runner since, you know, it's a little bit bright, but still, it's nice that it's included. I'm glad they thought of that. And of course, the reason that the kit is still moderately priced despite it being, you know, a small suit, it includes a stand, which is nice. The milky white is a little bit weird, but whatever. Also, it does include a alternate arm for a different angle, though I'm pretty sure this is just a standard stand, so I'm counting that as a bonus. And it does also include a little adapter, since the Nobel Gundam doesn't actually just have a peg hole. There's a little slot, which yeah, don't think about it too hard. There's a little slot in here that this fairly loosely tabs into. Honestly, I kind of feel like it could be a little bit tighter. Not that it'll fall off or anything, but it's a little bit wobbly for my taste. And as for a quick size comparison, mobile fighters tend to be a little bit on the shorter side, considering they came off, you know, Wing and F91, so smaller suits in general. But the Nobel Gundam is small even by those standards, given the feminine frame, so not a lot of mass going on here. So to wrap this review up, the Nobel Gundam is a very nice kit. It has a few minor issues, namely the knees being a bit limited and the amount of paint you need to do for some of the things. And also a minor issue that I have where the eyes are a little bit far apart. And it's not just the sticker, it's the actual molding of the eyes. It's a little bit weird, but it's not really that noticeable, honestly. And it does have a lot of good. This kit doesn't actually use any polycaps, which is interesting at the very least. It comes with all the accessories you would want, including the hands for the burning, and it comes with a stand, which is not something you see all too often. If you like the Nobel's design, or are a fan of G Gundam, I can recommend the Nobel. It's a pretty solid kit. But anyway, that's been all for this review. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, it helps a lot. Subscribe for future reviews and watch my backlog. Go follow me on Twitter for updates, and consider supporting me on Patreon so I can keep bringing you reviews, just like this one. And as always, until next time, happy building.